Welcome to Tina Tries. Today I'm making a P1 X1 series poop chute drawer organizer. So how on earth did I manage to break this sturdy PETG frame with my weakling strength? Stay tuned and find out. Today's easy to print set of drawers is by user 302-813-0014 and can be found on MakerWorld. This was printed on an X1 carbon and an H2D in black and gray PETG. This took just over 79 hours to print and used over 3.7 kilograms of filament. This build doesn't require any other materials. However, I did use some miter apple with the activator spray, apple barrel acrylic paint, a sanding file, and a Dremel tool. As usual, I will link everything in the description below. Let's check out the build. Here are all of the printed pieces. So today we are going to assemble the poop chute drawers for underneath the X1C that I have. I am going to use miter apple for everything with the activator spray. You don't have to glue everything together. This is supposed to be a snap together or slide together assembly depending on which piece it is. However, I do not want this coming apart, so I am going to glue everything together. Let's start with our drawers. They are two different widths. There is a wide drawer and a skinny drawer, so you can't mess up matching up the pieces. They are dovetailed, so I'm probably just gonna put glue on the ends here and slide them together, and then I'll spray it. I'm not gonna do too much. I don't want a lot of glue hanging out, but I also want these to stay together permanently. Push all the tabs down and spray. And there we have our first drawer. You can still see through the joints a little bit. So I'm gonna say this drawer will not stay together without super glue. Let's try it on the second one, just out of curiosity. Oh yeah, no. The drawer definitely needs super glue to keep it together, because even if you match these up, oh, that's what the biscuits are for. Huh. So there are these little hourglass shaped cutouts, and there are these little hourglass shaped biscuits. So those slide into these little spots on the sides of the drawer. Ah, clever. So we're gonna put those in there. Yeah, those are a snug fit. There we go. Let me see if that will hold this together by itself. Although if I do that, it's not gonna be glued. And I'm definitely not gonna be able to get those out. So I'm going to glue mine and then put the little hourglass biscuits in there to hold it together. But I suspect you can just put those little biscuits in there and it will hold. And there we have our second drawer. This is the skinny one, and this is the wide one. Next up, we are going to assemble our base. So the poop chute is the rear left corner, and this piece here is our rear right corner. You can tell because it has matching slots, and the front pieces will have these little joints here that will match up with the front. So these are really well organized. You can't mess up how they attach to each other because all of the joints are either a different number or a different size. So we are just gonna slide these together, but because I don't want it to come apart, I am going to put some glue in between each of the joints. And these just slide together. I'm gonna wipe off the extra glue from the bottom, make sure that it is down all the way, and then we will spray it. And there we have the back part of the drawers. Now I'm going to attach the two front sections together. Again, they have these little dovetail joints that line up. I'm gonna put glue in, slide them together, and then spray it. And there we have our two front sections. So next we are going to slide the front section onto the back section, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue, probably right here, on these little middle sections to keep them together. And these little skinny dovetails slide together, line them all up, and then push it down. Easy peasy. And there we have our assembled base. Next up, we're going to insert the plate holders. So these are just going to slide onto each side. They do have an angle to them. So there's a little edge on one side and it's angled on the other so that you slide them into the correct side. The frame here has the little angle on the top and the little ledge on the bottom. That way you know which side to slide each piece into. Make sure that your openings are in the front. You don't want to slide it in backwards or you're not going to be able to get any plates in here. So make sure that these openings are facing out. And you just line it up and it slides right in. There we go. There's one. And let's slide the other one in. There we go. There are our two plate holders. I'm not going to glue those in place. I want to be able to take them out if I need to. So we have these nice little side drawers here, which on our base, this is the front, they are going to slide into the sides here. So what we're going to do is snap the handles into place and then we can slide these onto the sides. The handles just snap right in like so. They are a little bit loose. The designer has said he made them this way so that you can change them out if you want to. I am just going to leave mine gray. I'm not really gonna change them out. So in my case, I am just gonna glue these into place. There's our first drawer. And drawer number 4. Now each of the drawers simply slides on like so. There are these little notches cut out here and the notches in the side of the frame. You just line them up and slide it right in. And then you have these nice little drawers to pull out. Let's put these last 2 drawers in. And there we go. My drawers here, before I put these in or attach the hardware to them, I am going to put some paint on the front of these drawers. So these print face down. This faceplate is actually touching the print bed. And apparently mine were a little bit dirty. So I have some really ugly white marks on my faceplates, which I do not like. So this is completely optional, but I am going to add some paint to the front of these just so that they are not so ugly. Hopefully you don't have to do this to yours unless you really want to. I'm just gonna use my really big flat brush for this. I think I'm just gonna do a nice gray color. Since these drawers are gray, I'll paint the front of these ones gray to match. Like so. I'll just add a little bit of gray and I'll let those dry. Now that the paint on the front of my drawers is dry, I am going to put the little handles on here. These are the exact same size and style of handle that we put on the little side drawers here. So I'm just gonna add some glue and pop these into place. Then our drawers will be ready to rock and our top section of our organizer will be finished. There is our skinny drawer. And there is our wide drawer. So all that is left on this section is to slide our drawers into place. So the wide drawer is going to go on the side with the poop chute and the skinny drawer is going to slide into the other side. These have nice little notches here that fit right into the frame and these just slide right in. Like so. And there we have the completed top section of our organizer. This part should line up with the poop chute in the back of the X1C. The poop should come down here, slide into the drawer, and then when the drawer needs to be emptied, you slide it out, dump it in the trash, and you slide your drawer right back into place. Super convenient. Next, let's build the bottom section. Let me get all my pieces out here. First up, I am going to attach the right side together. The little biscuits that are the dovetails that join the pieces together do stop at a certain point so that the pieces don't just slide off of each other, which is nice, but you want to make sure that you are assembling them in the right order or you are going to have trouble getting these together. I am actually going to assemble these together one piece at a time to make sure that I have these oriented properly. So just like I did with the top frame, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the edges here and slide them together. So there we have our right half pieces together. Now I am going to attach the back left piece. There is our back left piece, and we just have this front corner to go. Since this piece has a lot of little tiny dovetails, I am not going to glue this one in because I'm afraid that it's going to dry before I get the piece into place. This one, I think, is going to take a little bit of leverage. So let's see if I can get this situated. I'm going to try sanding these edges down a little bit and see if that helps. I'm going to bust out the power tools. I'm just going to use this Dremel and see if I can get these edges sanded down enough to get it to fit together. So I'm going to mask up so I'm not breathing in all these particles, and we'll go from there.
8 hours later.
Finally, we have that front section of the bottom frame in place. That took forever. These dovetails, these little tiny ones, are incredibly tight. So tight that it took me, let's see, about an hour of dremeling to get it to slide together appropriately. However, it's now together. Yay. Definitely do not need glue for that front section, I can tell you that. Now let's assemble the rotating drawer that goes in here. So our rotating drawer has 4 compartments, and these are all going to slide together just like frames and the top set of drawers did. We have our one handle, and then we have these little biscuits that are going to keep these drawer sections together. So when this is put together, it's going to be a right angle on one side and a semicircle on the outer edge. So I'm going to line these up and figure out how they all go together. So this is the general shape that our drawer is going to have. And you can see that these little half biscuits are going to go on both of the long outer edges. And then this one that's shaped kind of like an X is going to go in the middle to hold this drawer together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue on one edge of each bin and put them together. And then I'm going to slide the biscuit in that holds it together. And I'm also going to put the X-shaped biscuit in between these two on the other side as well, just to make sure that they stay together. So there we have half of our drawer. Next, I'm going to put this third big piece on the side here. I'm going to do the same thing, just put some glue on one edge, slide it onto this biscuit, and then I will put the little half-shaped biscuit on the outer edge. And there we have the third section of our bin. Spray these. And now we have just the little corner section. That little corner section is a very snug fit. Let's spray that corner. The last bit is to glue our handle on, and then this piece is completed. And there is our completed rotating drawer. Now let's put this inside of the bottom frame. There's a nice hole cut out here, and it is just going to slide over this post like so. And then this should rotate in and out. Beautiful. And we have a working rotating drawer. Very cool. Let's stack the other drawer on top of this with the poop chute. So the bottom of our poop chute drawers have these nice holes in the bottom, which line up with the pegs on the rotator drawer. So you just align them and slide it together. So there we have our fully assembled poop chute drawer with this nice rotating drawer underneath, so I'll have plenty of storage for all of my printer tools. And we even have these cool little side pockets for all of these smaller tools. And take them out, use them, put them back, and you just slide the drawers right back in. The printer sits on top of here. There are 4 spots for the feet in the corners. So the feet of the printer will sit right on top of here. And I will show you what that looks like. Here is the completed poop chute drawer organizer. I love how sharp this looks. It's really sturdy and it can hold a lot. I can hold up to 5 extra printer plates and all of my tools. Hopefully I will never have to look for any of them again. Yeah, right. I love that I can keep everything so well organized in such a sharp looking, easy to print unit. Here are my rankings for this project. Ease of printing. This one gets a 9. The pieces are rather large, so you won't be able to print this on an A1 mini or a smaller printer, nor will you be able to consolidate many pieces onto a single plate. It's mainly a slice and print file where each piece will print on the plate one at a time. Each piece has built-in supports if they're required, and I didn't have to change any of the print settings. Also, you don't need an AMS for this one. There are 2 different heights for the rotating drawer. There's a short drawer and a tall drawer, so you can choose whichever file works for the space and the needs that you have. Definitely print this one in PETG, as I don't think that PLA will be strong enough over time. I'm fairly certain this will start sagging in the middle if you use PLA, so definitely go with PETG. Ease of assembly. This one gets a 6. There are no assembly instructions for this on the file on MakerWorld. Each piece has really nice either dovetail joints or little wedges that slide into little channels, so it is fairly intuitive. Overall, assembly was easy except for that front right panel on the base frame for the rotating drawer. My first attempt to put this together turned into an epic failure, and I was completely astonished at my strength. I thought that maybe as I was trying to fit those dovetails together, that the glue I was using was drying too quickly, which made it really difficult for them to fit together. And my little tiny muscles ended up breaking that PETG frame. However, after reprinting this, that turned out to not be the case. I found that the dovetails were way too small for them to fit together properly, and so I had to end up using the Dremel tool as well as a sanding file to get all of the pieces to fit together well enough that I could get that piece into place. However, once that piece was in, I found that it definitely did not need any glue to stay together. This drawer set will stay together without any glue. However, I used it to make sure that mine never comes apart. You can customize the colors on this to make it look however you want and match whatever your decor is. You can also change the handles out whenever you want to do that, but be aware that if you do not glue the handles into place, they will be slightly loose. Also, as a side note, I did end up adding some no-slip tape to the bottom of the unit to keep it from sliding around on the counter. My only other complaint about this project is that the poop chute is slightly misaligned with the printer and it doesn't have a top to it. The poop chute and drawer do work though, so if I find that poop starts shooting out everywhere, I will probably add some sort of guardrail to it and do an update video in the future. That's going to do it for this episode. If you found this helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new episodes. Let me know if there are other functional prints that you'd like me to tackle in the comments section below. I am open to accepting commissioned projects, so if you have something that you would like for me to make, send me an email. I will see you on the next one.